Welcome to youtube.com featuring Robin Hood Radio featuring this top 10 inches in under 10 minutes video. Let's hope we can actually get under 10 minutes. This is really difficult, guys. I do these unscripted. It's fine. Let's hop in with talk about 10 inch. Okay, so like my favorite format. I'm unique. Like I've seen other people do these videos and I've been like, I could do that because I like 10 inches a lot more than all these other cats on the VC. They're literally my favorite format, and B, I probably own more than most of them because I've seen like some people just had 10 in their collection, so they could just do a top 10. I think I counted 35. I could be a little off there, but granted, I have over 10, so I can actually do a top 10, and some of these are my favorite in my whole collection. So I'll top into it with a dishonorable honorable mention. Duke plays Ellington. So, you know, you're on eBay one day and you see this listed for a good price and you're like, oh, I want it. But then you forget to check that it is, in fact, an old lady who I've used eBay, so she probably just didn't know how to use eBay, and this is what came up. So she said, that's what I have. It's not a 10 inch. So this is the one 10 inch, not a 10 inch I own. I keep it because I bought it, so why not? And it's in fine shape. It plays very well. So there's that. On to the actual 10 inches now. Starting off with number 10, Joe Pug, Nation of Heat. This record is Heat. Signed in person at a concert. My brother is definitely a bigger fan than I am of Joe Pug. Really cool, clear, green vinyl. But I still enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it enough to put it above 10, even though I did see him in concert. He's got a really cool, raspy, kind of gravelly voice. You could kind of call him like Bob Dylan-esque because he's like got that folky like guitar, harmonica vibe with really like deep lyrics, very intelligent lyrics, I guess you could say. So Joe Pug, if you haven't heard him, like you should definitely check him out. He just released a new album too, semi-recently. Number 9 was difficult for me to decide upon. I knew what number 10 was going to be. It had to be Joe Pug, and I was like, what's the next one going to be? Decided upon a birthday gift, Agnes Obel, The Curse. This just features The Curse and The Curse instrumental, but it's like it's great steady background music. This could almost be featured on like the not quite classical playlist on Spotify. If you haven't heard her, she recently signed to Blue Note on the US, which is crazy. Their first non-jazz artist in like that sphere, and then I think Deutsche Grammophon in Europe. But just fantastic, like neoclassical, almost just like childlike, orchestral, beautiful. Her voice is beautiful too. So and this album cover is beautiful. So all of that leads to an album you should check out, and the number 9 spot on my top 10 10-inch list. Moving on, Don't Disown Me for number 8, but it is Ascenseur pour les chauffeurs, which I believe means, I just finished college French, so I think it means elevator for death or axe, I don't know, something like that. Anyways, I like Miles Davis. I like the soundtrack. He's just never been one of my favorites. This is a 3 LP deluxe. I recognize like his importance to jazz history and just his brilliance as a jazz artist. This is a 3 LP set that has the complete session takes for the first time all together. Again, just a really cool 3 LP, but I just don't listen to it that often because he's just not personally one of my favorite jazz artists. But it's definitely like a mood. Like when you're in the mood, it's like perfect. So if you haven't heard it, like you gotta hear that for sure. Number 7 is one that I picked up, one of my earliest records in my collection, so obviously one of my earliest 10 inches. I purchased it because the album cover is flipping fantastic. That's Benny Goodman's Orchestra on Jazz Panorama. I think like a 7-inch and 10-inch compilation label from the 50s. I really want to get volume 2 since volume 1 rather, since this is volume 2, but I haven't really found it. I don't even know if I found it on Discogs, but this is just amazing. Benny Goodman. It's got the Bupa Carl rag on it and some other goodness. And just Benny Goodman's great. This is like VG condition. Maybe I'm being generous there. I don't know. But I still love it. And I got it for cheap earlier on because eBay, I was able to get a deal on an offer. So that was great. Number 6 has one of my favorite songs of all time on it. And that is Colony House with You and I and You Know It as singles. Also demos. Don't like the demos as much. This came on FYE exclusive, and for whatever reason, it's clear, and for whatever reason, it says 33.5 RPM, but it is in fact 45 RPM. So funny little error there that I don't even go to why that messed me up earlier on, but it was yeah, weird. But You and I, just one of my favorite songs. Period. If you're looking for like a political song, like I'd call this my favorite political song, because he even like stated, Caleb Chapman, that it is basically like his only attempt at a political song, and it's very hopeful, and it's very much how I feel towards politics. And so I cannot recommend the song enough. Outside of just sounding fantastic, lyrically it's just really moving. So You and I, and you know it from Colony House 10-inch. It's a little bent and stuff because I tried to get it signed at a concert I went to of theirs, but they ended up not coming out back as they did at other shows, so that was disappointing. But it's been to see them live. Okay, number 5 on the list, favorite band of all time, David Carter Band. Why is this not higher on the list? My favorite band as a 10-inch? Because I'm not super into smiley faces. And like obviously a smiley face works great for a picture disc, but also picture discs have less sound quality to them. And this is just like acoustic covers of some of their great songs. So like I like the originals better. The acoustics are good. It's still fantastic. Like I'm lucky to own this. The fact that it even exists is wild to me. Like I don't know where they sold this or how, but it's incredible. Like it's Oh Happiness acoustic and Shadows acoustic and Hallelujah Sing and How He Loves. Like woof. But again, smiley face picture disc puts it at number 5 on my list. Coming in at number 4, my most recent 10-inch pickup on this list, Australian Jazz Quartet. I believe I saw this first in my jazz covers book because this cover is just incredible. Such good graphic design in the 50s and 60s, especially for jazz. But this features bassoon. It has bassoon solos. Can you get much cooler than that? I don't think so, Australia. This is your best export. I'm calling it. Sorry to any Australians. I'm offending right now. You guys are cool. That album's awesome. This is your music. Number 3, we're at the top 3, and number 3 is the earliest one, that we've owned. So we bought this like yard selling early on before I started collecting. So Unforgettable, Nat King Cole. Nat King Cole, I think, is one of the greatest vocalists of all time. He's one of my favorites, and I just think in general he is just one of the best ever. And this 10-inch, I took it from the family because it's just so perfect. It's in VG condition, so not super great condition wise, but maybe even just probably in general it's probably G good plus. But the outer sleeve looks great, and it's got Unforgettable, Mona Lisa, For Sentimental Reasons, back to back to back. What on earth? So good. If you have not heard this, or if you ever see this in person, you have to pick it up. It is so freaking incredible. If it were in better condition, it may have even ranked higher. But this next one, number 2, Dan Kroll from their EP signed. So I didn't even know if this was a real thing. This came out pre his From Nowhere album, and I tried to ask Dan where it came from. He hasn't gotten back to me. I tried to ask the guy I bought it from in Germany, and he says he thinks you just picked it up secondhand at a record store, so he's not even sure. But it wasn't an insane price. I'd never seen one up for sale, so I was like, well, it's up for sale now. I gotta make sure this is legit, and I also just really want to own it, because From Nowhere, the album, is probably one of my top pop, it's kind of more indie pop, but pop albums of all time. From Nowhere, you may recognize from the From Nowhere Bartson remix. It became popular off GTA 5, so that's probably his most popular song, but it's also got Compliment Your Soul, which is a very catchy song. Wanna Know is kind of creepy, and I'm not sure how you can bend the meaning of the lyrics to make it not creepy, so I'm not the hugest fan of that song, even though it is still kind of catchy. And then Only Ghost is good, and obviously the Bartend remix of From Nowhere. So this is just an incredible 10-inch. I'm so glad I get to own it. I'm surprised someone else didn't buy it before me because it had been up for a little bit. I just got lucky, scrolling through my Discogs one day and saw oh, my want list, this has got a copy for sale. Obviously I'm purchasing it because I can afford it. And then last but certainly not least, number 1, so good, Valley Serenade, played by Glenn Miller and his orchestra. If you know me, you know I love big band music, and Glenn Miller is my obsession with big band music. Obviously I play trombone, but he's one of the first big band, really jazz musics I listened to. And the album cover is great. The movie itself, this is from the movie Valley Serenade. I think it's pretty great. Obviously, I'm biased because I love Glenn Miller, but I think it's got some really funny lines, and it was like surprisingly good. I wasn't expecting it like as a film. I was expecting it just to appreciate it for Glenn Miller being a part of it, but it was actually like an enjoyable old film. So if you're into old movies, would recommend very much you watch this. Anyways, got some Glenn Miller classics, and At Last, and I believe it's Ella Fitzgerald. I'm not sure who popularized the song with her version, but this is the original, and it sounds a lot different from her version. So I could be getting that wrong. The cover that made it big, but that's cool to hear. And this is just awesome. I found it, of all places, in a random record shop that popped up near where my grandma lived. And I saw it in person, and I was like, this is incredible. This is what I've wanted for forever. Like, ever since I knew it existed, I'm like, I need to have it. Because ever since I got into vinyl and found out that 10 inches exist, I was just obsessed with them. So that has led to me collecting 35 and hopefully getting more. But unfortunately, 10 inches are expensive. You've got like your rare ones, you've got your old ones that are just, few of them sound good, and that just like hikes up the price for them, and that's unfortunate because like I don't really care about rarity, or I just want it to be an album I like and to be available on 10 inch for cool reasons. But so that's it for this video. Comment down below what are some of your favorite 10 inches you own, or the ones you want on your ones, your top one list ones. For me, I'd say definitely J.J. Johnson Volume 2 on Blue Note. It's got one of the coolest album covers of all time, and it's on a 10 inch, and I'm obsessed with it. And it's way too expensive because it's a Blue Note 10 inch. But one day I may own it. Number 2, I'd say, for a more reasonable one that I may get sooner, is Dizzy in Paris, Dizzy Gillespie. It's just got a fantastic album cover, and I just really want it. I think that one's on Contemporary, maybe. I could be wrong. They could be on Verve. But that one I really want to. But what are yours? Comment down below. Thanks for watching. I hope I wasn't talking too fast in this video so you can understand me. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you when I see you. Robin Hoodie out. You have a great rest of your day.